So hello everyone to our February connected session. Like I said, normally I do these every single month, but I did not do one in January because we had fearless events early in the year in San Diego and Los Angeles. So I was on the road a lot in early January, but normally at the beginning of each month, within the first week or two, I do a one woman connected session. And the whole idea of that is to be able to learn more about one woman, some of the things that's coming up, some of the opportunities that are available with one woman. And what I added new for this year is to be able to feature one of our one woman empowered members to be able to talk at each event. And I might actually do a couple each session, because what I used to do is go around and have everybody introduce themselves, but they got to be quite big groups. And then the whole meeting wound up just being people's introductions. So I'd rather take more time for someone to speak, for members to get to know each other and to learn more about what that person does, because we have so many great members that do really great things in this world. And so who I reached out to was, I think, the first woman to ever sign up with the One Woman Empowered membership, which was Lyra Kay. Lyra has been one of the biggest supporters of One Woman. She spoke on many, many stages of the One Woman Fearless stages. And she actually traveled to Thunder Bay and put on a workshop there that we offer through our Empowerment Academy and all that great stuff. So I asked Lyra if she would be our speaker today. So I'm going to introduce her in a little bit. But I recognize most ladies here, but not everyone. Does everyone here know about One Woman and what we do in this world? Raise your hand. Okay, so most hands are raised, but not all of our hands are raised. So I'll fill you in a little bit with the background of One Woman, how we kind of got started and what we do to empower women in this world. So in 2015, I was traveling with a partner charity that I used to help and work with through another company that I own called Keynote Events. And I just volunteered my time for an event. And that was with this youth organization in Thunder Bay where I used to live. And the whole idea was to empower youth to change the world. And I got invited to go and see the work that they were doing in the Amazon rainforest. And that is where One Woman was born, believe it or not. I was there to just dig a well or build a school or whatever the project was going to be. I didn't anticipate that this trip would change my life. And how it changed my life was that I learned that the project that we'd be working on was building a women's empowerment center. And oh boy, they had my attention then, because I've been empowering women my whole life. Been an entrepreneur for 25 years, and I've helped so many women start businesses over that time. I've had numerous different businesses, many that I've built and sold, some that I still run today. But yeah, it really struck a chord in my heart, because we were building a women's empowerment center that it would give a platform and a place for women to be able to make handmade items and goods that could be sold to the world, that would then help that community become self-sustaining. And I'm a big believer in empowerment activities. The whole idea of you give somebody a fish, you feed them for a day, you teach someone to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. And that's what I firmly believe in, is empowering women and girls in this world to be able to help themselves, lift themselves out of poverty, achieve financial independence for themselves, to be able to live their big goals and dreams. And that's what we do with One Woman. But yes, that's where it started, was in the Amazon rainforest, where I got the biggest vision of my life. And maybe that's how you came to do what you do, is all of a sudden you had this calling in your heart that you knew this is what you were supposed to do. I went to bed one night after speaking to these ladies, working with them for about 10 or 12 days. And I had a heavy heart, because I knew, I could be there for 10 or 12 days. I could go home and I can tell some really great stories of empowering women in a developing country, surviving tarantulas in the Amazon rainforest, all these great things that happened while I was there. But the vision that I got was waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, about an hour before I would normally get up. And God had given me the biggest vision for my life. I heard the word One Woman. I saw the images of the women that the organization would impact around the world. I saw the website. I knew the name, everything. And it was so dark in my room at that time. And I'm tripping out of bed to go get a piece of paper and just to write everything down as fast as I could write. And I thought, well, what do I do with this? Because to me, it was so much bigger than me. And maybe that's how you feel about what you're doing, is that you have a big goal and dream, but sometimes it feels like it's so much bigger than you. And how could I ever do this? And I realized that, I had to let go in the Amazon rainforest of what was Charlotte possible. And I really had to lean in to what was God possible in my life. That, God was calling me to something, to use me, to bring women together for the greater good of all women in this world. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I went home and I started telling a few friends about it. And a friend of mine that has a media company said, hey, Charlotte, I'd love to get involved. I'd love to donate a website. Well, that's where it all began. Sometimes we don't need to know how it's going to happen for us. It's just the fact of taking the first right step. As the great Martin Luther King Jr. said, take your first step in faith. You don't have to see the entire staircase. Just take the first step. And that's what I did. And lo and behold, every step has lit up since then. Now creating one of the largest women's empowerment organizations in the world. One woman connects almost 500,000 women globally. And I can honestly say it's been a one-woman operation. Yes, I have a team, but we don't have a location. I have people who help me with various things, but most of that was built from my kitchen table. So anybody thinking that you need a big office and a big, massive team and all this money and everything to do what you dream of, well, it's just not true. You can do anything that you dream of doing. It's stepping into what's God possible for you, trusting that the universe will figure it all out, and that you just got to figure out what the next right step is. One woman started as a membership, which my whole goal was to be able to raise funds to help women in developing countries to start businesses, gain employment skills, or help girls have access to education to break the cycle of poverty. That's where my heart was. That was where my passion was. But I thought, how am I going to do that? So I started with a membership, which was great. I launched that membership. So many friends became members. I would mail out Rafiki bracelets made by our mamas in Kenya, which Rafiki is the Swahili word for friend. And that was part of our package, and, inspiring women to be able to help other women in this world. And then I ran out of friends. I thought, well, this isn't so good. Sure, I could market this membership, but my background was in events. As I mentioned, I had a company called Keynote Events, and I worked with a lot of famous people in this world, made a lot of rich people richer, worked with Food Network stars, HGTV stars, dragons from Dragon's Den, sharks from Shark Tank, New York Times bestselling authors, Hay House authors, you name it. I work with some of the most famous people in the world. And I put on massive events with thousands and thousands of people at them. And I decided to step away from that to be able to create events that would showcase women, that would give women a platform to shine, to share their fearless stories. Because what I knew for sure is that when a woman shares her fearless story, she gives another woman permission to do the same. I had no idea how these were going to turn out. I planned a cross-Canada tour, 15 cities across Canada. And it was a lot of money to put that together, and I had no headliner. These were women who had a crazy business idea, might not have even been starting out, may have had a business and were struggling with it. I had a girl 8 years old who spoke at the very first Fearless Summit. How could I say no to that? Who knew where it was going to lie? I just trusted that God already had it figured out for me. I got really good at marketing. I figured out social media and Facebook ads like nobody. And I sold out every single one of those events right across Canada. Largest event happening in Halifax, Nova Scotia, with almost 800 women attending. Were you there, Yannick? No? Yeah, almost 800 women attending that event. Who knew? But yeah, that's where it all kind of began, is, we became famous for our Fearless Women Summit. Women started coming from all over the world to speak on the Fearless stage, from all over Canada, United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, and I couldn't figure it out. I would only advertise those events in those cities. So how were women applying to speak from all over the world? I just didn't get it. But speakers bureaus started picking up our events from all over the world. And women flew in on their own dime to speak at events from as far as Perth, Australia. I was humbled that I could create a stage for women who could use their fearless stories, their struggles, their traumas, and their triumphs and successes to be able to empower women to get through their own journey, to see the other side, and to live their best life because of that. It's still the biggest part of what we do. And of course, the pandemic affected that a lot. In 2019, I did about close to 100 events between Canada, the USA, Australia, New Zealand, United Kingdom, and Ireland. We've traveled the world putting on Fearless Summits. I had just gotten back from our Australia-New Zealand tour, did an empowerment trip to Bali, Indonesia, because we work with charities there. I was home for 48 hours, repacking a suitcase, heading to Philadelphia for our next Fearless Summit, severely jet lagged, hearing rumblings on the news of this coronavirus and that things were getting bad, but never did I imagine that by the time I would leave Canada and arrive in Philadelphia, that the world would completely close. The airport was empty. The Philadelphia airport was almost empty. I got into a taxi, went to the hotel, there was nobody there. And I opened my laptop to so many emails of women who were scared to attend, speakers who were canceling. And I thought, you know what? And also the news saying that the Canada-US border was going to close. So I figured I'd better just get home. And that's what I did. Now, lots of times there's things that discourage us, challenges and obstacles that get in our way. And I could have very well climbed into bed, pulled the covers over my head and thought, oh my gosh. Our organization puts on major events around the world. What are the two things that's taken away? Travel and large gatherings. Well, what the hell do I do now? And all I knew is that my job is to empower women. And Charlie, you better figure out how you're going to do that. Within a month, our first Fearless World Summit happened online. Less than a month. It was broadcasted to over 400,000 women around the world. One woman grew bigger than it ever did before. There was no longer any boundaries as to where women could attend from. We had women who attended from almost every continent, women who spoke from right around the world. We were able to even make a bigger impact. The pandemic has been one of the biggest blessings on our organization. It's all in perspective, all on how we decide to pivot our businesses to create massive success. Because I could have easily let that debilitate our organization. And instead, I allowed it to flourish and grow what we do in this world. So I talked a little bit about one woman, where it all began, how it came about. Told you a little bit about our signature star thing that we do, which is our Fearless Summit, which still is today. We're back doing live events again. As I mentioned, we went to San Diego and Los Angeles in January, had a fantastic time. We're off to San Francisco and San Jose later this month. And of course, we still do our World Summits online, which are our largest events because they are broadcasted through our social media following of almost a half million women globally. But we do other things as well, which I'm going to talk about that a little bit. As I mentioned, we were built on basically our memberships. And what we use those memberships for is to be able to support our partner charities to empower women and girls in developing countries. As I mentioned, we help women start businesses, gain employment skills, and help girls have access to education to break the cycle of poverty. Because we know that nothing empowers a woman more in this world than financial independence. Nothing. But what happened in 2020, when the pandemic hit, is I started getting thousands of emails from members, from women who had spoke on Fearless stages, women who I knew that had businesses that were scared to death as to how this was going to impact them and their business and their life. And I thought, okay, Charlotte, what do we do about this? And that's when I created our One Woman Empowered membership. And it was all about helping women to build and grow their business, to be successful at it, to not have to struggle financially. Because what I know for sure is that most women have a hard time building a successful business, especially online. They don't know all the tips and tricks and tools when it comes to marketing. That's something that I studied greatly and something that I knew that I could help women do. So that's when I created our One Woman Empowered membership, launched it last year, and really helped women really build and grow their businesses online using One Woman as a marketing platform. Just because most of the women's businesses that we serve, their target market is women, and we have a lot of them. And so it's a way for them to be able to network, to be able to connect, to be able to advertise and promote their products and services, and to be able to become successful in their businesses. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our One Woman Empowered memberships, what's all included in those. I'm not going to go through everything. It's on the website. I'm going to go through some of the highlight things. And the one thing that I really want to talk about today is our One Woman Empowerment Academy webinars. They're probably one of our most popular things last year because we taught a lot of marketing webinars and we really helped women in that department. But I wanted to put a call out there to really be able to find more instructors to be able to teach on other topics as well. Those can be business topics, those can be professional topics, or those can be personal topics as well. Because what I know for sure is, well, they're all connected at the end of the day, and they're all connected. As women, we can't separate being a mom and being a businesswoman, and we wear many hats. And so that's what one of my goals is for this year, is really to have a well-rounded empowerment academy where we empower women in every area of their life, business and personally and professionally. So the first thing is, of course, our One Woman member meetings, or these One Woman connected sessions. So it's a great way to be able to meet other women who's in the group. Before, like I said, we used to do introductions, but you know, when you have 20, 30, 40 women on the call, it's kind of hard to do that. So we've created our One Woman Connected Facebook page where you can always do that and connect with other members anytime, 24/7. And so if you're not on that page already, I'll definitely share the link in the chat later that you can join the One Woman Connected page. It's totally free to be a part of that page. And it's a great way to be able to meet amazing women around the world. I love to connect women. As I mentioned to Michelle, I sent a connection today. I was interviewing somebody to speak on a Fearless stage. She is a retired Navy captain with the US Navy. Michelle was a commander here for the Canadian Navy. They both retired this year. They both are launching out into the world as, you know, speakers. And so it's like, how could I not make that connection? So I do that a lot. But it's a great way for you guys to be able to connect and meet each other as well, because there's so much power in collaborations. There's so much power in doing things together. There's so much power in having support and encouragement. And that's what that page is all about. Of course, we have our regular Facebook page that has a lot of women on it, you know, over 430,000 women around the world, but the group page is more interactive. So we have these meetings. Right now we're doing them once a month, but I would like to do them maybe a little more often, depending on when I'm not traveling, to be able to feature our members, our empowered members, to be able to speak like Lyra is going to do for us today. So that instead of just like, oh, hi, I'm Charla, I want to run a women's empowerment organization, you know, and you only get a snippet of what the person does, you really get to know more about what they do, how they do it, and some tips and advice that can help you. Lyra's going to teach us how to create uber high coaching packages. Who here wants to make more money this year? Anybody? Anyone? Okay, I'm not alone here. Okay, perfect. Awesome. She's going to teach us how to do that later. Then, of course, we have some stuff on our website, like a member directory listing, and you can share your featured member story. We share that with our whole network of ladies. Of course, it gives you the ability to speak at One Woman events. Does somebody need to be an empowered member to speak at an event? No. Anyone could speak at a Fearless event. You just know about them first. So those events usually get filled up really fast. And so as an empowered member, I have a separate newsletter that just goes out to our members, and you always kind of get a preview and a sneak peek of what's going on that you can get involved with before anybody else does. You can also become a part of our speakers bureau. A lot of women that we work with want to be professional speakers. They want those opportunities to be paid speakers. I get a lot of emails from organizations wanting speakers. This is not a desire of mine. This is not a passion of mine. I speak because I need to let people know what I do and what we do, but I have no desire to ever be a professional speaker and, you know, be on multiple stages and do all that kind of stuff. So our bureau is my way of being able to connect that company, that college, that university, that high school, that event coordinator, whoever it is, to the speakers that we have that's part of our Empowerment Academy, and make that connection so that they can hire the speaker they want based on the topics that they speak on. So you'll see the Bureau on our website, and the Bureau is only for empowered members, and you will have had to have spoke on a Fearless stage beforehand. It's only for me to be able to see the quality and the level you're at for speaking, to be able to recognize, like we do a lot of things with, say, BDC, Business Development Bank of Canada. They're gonna have a high expectation of a level of speaker, and if I'm not backing that, yeah, once somebody has spoken at an event, I'll know what level that they're at in terms of making those connections. Next is the ability to facilitate One Woman Empowerment Academy webinars. So that was my main focus today. Is you would have seen a lot of webinars this past year, but most of them were based on marketing. We will continue to offer marketing webinars, business webinars, but we did one this year, which was by a TEDx curator who curates a TEDx event in the USA. That was such a fantastic event, teaching women how to get on a TEDx stage, what the application process is all about, what that person's looking for, everything. It was such a brilliant webinar. And so I'm looking for more webinars like that, and instructors that want to teach on different personal skills, professional skills, and business skills, like I said. So that is open for anybody who is a One Woman empowered member, that they can teach webinars. You can advertise your products and services to our network of almost 500,000 women around the world. So like I said earlier, gosh, one of the biggest challenges women have to build a successful business is being able to reach their market. And it can cost a lot of money. To build women, One Woman to the capacity that it is, I've probably spent $250,000 to $500,000 since 2016 or 17, probably 2017. Yeah. So, you know, it can cost a lot of money to build $1 million or a multi-million-dollar business if that's what you're wanting to do. But guess what? You get to tap into that by being a member. And so it's a pretty sweet deal, whether that's posting on the One Woman Connected page, where I'll pick it up and share it through our other social media channels and all that kind of stuff. But you can post what you have going on. You also get to attend all of our webinars. So there's some webinars that we do for free that anybody can attend, and there's some that's just for our empowered members. So you can keep an eye out for those. That TEDx webinar was just for our One Woman empowered members. So we do things like that, where we're bringing in different speakers to be able to help women personally and professionally. You can also host your own One Woman show. So a lot of women love, you know, interviewing guests, speaking on different topics, all that kind of stuff. I've created different shows and helped women create different shows that you can broadcast through social media. It's such a powerful tool to be able to build and grow a massively successful business, that you can use that tool through Facebook, through Instagram, through TikTok, through YouTube, that once you've created the content, you can massively put that out there. So hosting a show, you know, which can look like in many different ways. You might have somebody who's doing yoga classes. You might have somebody who's doing a cooking show. You might have somebody who's interviewing guests and doing more like a talk show. So you totally get to create what you want to create. We just help you get it out there and are a platform to put your show on. And then, of course, we have a funding program. So I don't know how many Canadians we have in the house, but we were lucky to score a deal back in November of 2020 with Michelle Romanoff from Dragon's Den. Like I mentioned, I work with most of the dragons from Dragon's Den, and she has her own bank called Clear Bank. Actually, I think they just changed the name of it. And they do all of our funding applications. So we have loans for women from $10,000 to $10 million that's available through us, through that partnership. which is really great for those that are wanting to build and grow their business, especially online. That's what they really specialize in, is all the e-commerce side of business. And of course, you empower women and girls globally, which is the #1 mission of One Woman. The thing is that it's just really changed since that first idea. We still empower women and girls in developing countries, help women start businesses. Maybe for you, it was a coaching business. Maybe for the woman that we work with in Africa, it was getting her a goat to get her rolling on her big goals and dreams. We help women gain employment skills. So, you know, that's what our Empowerment Academy does in developing or in developed countries. In developing countries, it may be helping a woman learn sewing skills so that she can start her own sewing business. There's lots of different skills. We work with Ballywise. I talked about Bally, which gives girls between the ages of 18, young women between the ages of 18 and 24 skills in the hospitality industry. We sponsor them for 6 months to learn how to be in the culinary arts, spa services, hotel front desk, you name it. And they have a over 90% success rate of those girls gaining full-time employment and being able to make a living wage. Because women in Southeast Asia, especially between those ages, in Indonesia, but many countries, are vulnerable to sex trafficking. If you don't get married and you have a boy's family to take care of you, you can fall into the wrong hands pretty quickly. And then, of course, helping girls have access to education. And you get updates every month. All of our empowered members and our inspired members, which is our regular membership, gets updates on all the women and girls that we're helping globally. And we help girls at every level of education, from primary and elementary school to secondary school. And we have a number of girls in post-secondary education right now. So those are some of the things that we do to empower women. But we also, like I said, now really focus on also helping women in developed countries to build successful businesses, to have a platform to be able to advertise and market on, to be able to network and connect and be supported and encouraged on their journey, because it's so important. It's what keeps a lot of women from throwing in the towel, because we know entrepreneurship can be a lonely journey. So, empowered membership. Well, like I said, we always had our basic membership, which basically is just saying, hey, Charlotte, we support the work that we do. It's $20 a month. We pool those funds together and we use those to educate girls, help buy some goats, chickens, feed, whatever it is to help women start businesses in developing countries, sewing machines, whatever the case might be. And then the other membership is our empowered membership, which is our new membership, which includes all of those things that I just talked about. That membership is $97 a month. So basically for $100 a month, you can tap into all the things that I talked about today. And I'm going to post the link in the comments. Whoops, I actually got to get the link. Help if I actually. Okay, I'll post the link in the comments so that if you want to learn more about that membership, it is there. You get to try your first month for $39. You can sign up for $39, try it for a month, see how you like it. But I'm only looking for 10 new members because most women right now want to join because they want to be part of the Empowerment Academy. And I only have so much time of the day. And so to help women put together these courses and get them out there, properly market them, all that kind of stuff is going to take some time for me and my team to be able to put all that together. So over the next month, I'll take on 10 new empowered members that if those are the things that you're wanting to do, and especially those that want to teach a webinar and a workshop over the next, over the coming months, then I'll work with you to be able to do that. And it's probably one of the most powerful ways, besides speaking, like besides doing a Fearless Summit, to really get your message out there to women around the world. These are longer, so usually the webinars are usually around an hour. And so women really get to know you and to get more interactive with what you do, as opposed to a keynote or a 20-minute TED style talk. So they're a little more interactive that way. And you can structure those however you want. So yes, so that's the link to that. Maria. So Maria, you have a membership, but if you like, I can switch you over to an empowered membership instead. So I will do that for you, Maria. So there's 9 spots left. Maria's also been with me for a long time. Maria lives in Florida and a big supporter of One Woman and does very similar work in this world. So I will change that over for you, Maria. So I want to open it up for some questions that anybody has about what I talked about today before I turn things over to Lyra to speak to us today. Feel free to just unmute yourself. Eva, go ahead.
Yeah, Charlotte, I'm just looking to join this. It sounds amazing. So when you say that we can speak on the One Woman stages, does that mean that we still pay the fees to speak on the One Woman stages, or is it included in the membership?
So there's always two rates. If you looked at your speakers package from before, you'll see a member rate and a non-member rate.
Mm-hmm.
And so women who are members get a discounted rate on speaking at Fearless Summits. But yes, Fearless Summits on average cost me about $20,000 per event to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So,
okay.
And those are a powerful platform. I've watched women make up to $100,000 from one 20-minute talk, if you know how to do that really well. And so that's why we created other programs and to help women learn how to do that and become really great speakers and learn how to monetize their talks and all that kind of stuff, because most women just don't know how to do that. Mm-hmm. And so it's a very small investment for such a powerful marketing tool. And as women in business, we got to learn how to be powerful women in business, learn how to invest in the things that's going to help us build and grow our businesses. So many women just want it to poof happen for us, but learning what to invest in, how to invest in that to build a successful business is so important to do that. And so, yeah.
Love you very much.
Oh, just going to mute somebody here. Yes. So anyway, it gives you a discounted rate, but at the end of the day, this is what we do to empower every woman and girl in this world. And I've seen the worst of the worst in this world in terms of women and girls and circumstances you and I could never even wrap our heads around. And I do my best. I always say, you know, Lord, break my heart with things that break your heart. And there's been moments that I've been on my knees that I just couldn't believe circumstances that women and girls are in this world. And so if I can do something about it while I'm here, I'm going to do that. And that almost changed last year because I almost lost my life in September. I think some of you already know that story. But obviously God's given me a second chance. And so I'm going to do my best with it. Does anybody else have any questions?
Hey, Charla.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you, Isa?
I'm good, and I'm excited to speak in March. And I know we've been exchanging emails, but I came in a little bit late. I'm so sorry. Can you clarify what it means to be an instructor? Like, is that like what is the benefit of that for the member? Is that a paid position, or is that meant to be like a marketing tool?
It's part of the empowered membership. So I talked about some of the benefits today of being a One Woman Empowered member. So it allows you to not just be able to speak at events, but to be able to instruct workshops and webinars through One Woman, be able to tap into our network of almost 500,000 women to be able to instruct to. Because most women, when they're starting out, they just don't have an audience. And how do you get it out there? And you can spend tens of thousands of dollars in Facebook ads or social media ads and still hear crickets, because sometimes women don't know how to position their messaging. They don't know how to get clarity as to what they're doing and how to put it out there. So a lot of our webinars are around those subjects, but we do want to add other subjects, you know, health and well-being, relationships, parenting, you name it. So we're really looking for instructors in lots of different areas to help women to be able to, you know, build successful businesses, also be able to have, you know, balance in every area of their life, their health, their well-being, you know, that they're not feeling like they're compromising anything. You know, I look at so many women who have areas of expertise, you know, Clara's, you know, in terms of burnout, well, you know, how do you manage those things in your life, you know, and all those kind of things that, you know, having a successful business shouldn't come to compromise you losing your family or not having time to take care of yourself or any of that kind of stuff. So that's what we want to expand it to do. So, okay. Any other questions, ladies? Yes, go ahead, Lulu.
Oh, sorry. Hi, everyone. Hi, Charla.
Hi, Lulu. How are you?
Kisses. What would be the steps? Is like the first step is the membership?
Yes. So as soon as you get an empowered membership, good. I love that you asked that question. I send you an email that has everything that's included in your empowered membership.
Okay.
And you look at, hey, this is what I want to do.
And then the
so
membership again is how much per month?
it's $97 a month, but
All
you
right.
get to try the first month for $39.
No, I'm committed. So do I need to do anything or you already know that I want it?
I wrote you down
Okay.
on my sheet of paper. So I will
Beautiful.
fix it after our call today. I'll change your
Wonderful.
membership over to an
And
empowered
then
member.
the second step, once you say yes for I want to be instructor, then what is the next steps?
You're going to get an email from me that's going to show all the benefits of the empowered membership. And you can just reply to that and say, this is what I want to do right now.
Okay.
And then I'll probably plan a call with you and we're going to figure out the best way to do that.
All right. And then so let's say once you have your instructors, then you're going to schedule a calendar on your website.
Yes, I am.
And then the advertisement and the brand, it's under your brand, correct?
Yes, there's two ways to be able to do it. You can do it under us and our brand, or you can do it as your own webinar. So we give women the option that way in terms of if you're wanting to do your own registrations and all that kind of stuff, because if we do everything, there is a cost involved because I'm going to have to hire my team to put some of the stuff together.
And then do you know how much it will be?
I'm going to have to look at that because I didn't really put that together before, but
Okay.
I'll have it together by the time we have a
All
conversation.
right, because my interest is to go under your brand and then grow within, you know?
Yeah. No, that's not a problem at all.
And so, yeah, so for me, I just needed to know the steps and just follow the steps.
Yeah, you'll get an email from me right away. I'll send it to you today.
All
And then
right.
just reply and we'll plan a call to chat more and all that kind of stuff, but we give women the option. So, you know, all the advertising and promotion is included in that. But if you're needing us to do, put together all the imaging for it and, you know, promotional pieces and all that kind of stuff, then I'm going to have to, you know, have my marketing gurus. Like, I'm not a graphic designer, all that kind of stuff. I have a team that does that. You do
It's
not want me to
wonderful.
design
Your
your
team
app.
is wonderful.
Yes, no problem. But I do have a team that does that really well.
Thank you so much, honey.
No problem. Any other questions, ladies?
I just had one quick question.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm very much interested in being a member, but I'm just asking, is this solely for members based within the States, or is it applicable for some of us who are based in the Global South?
Oh, our members are from all over the world. And Catherine, are you in Tanzania?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I recognized your name. How impressed are you?
Yeah.
Catherine and I have a call in March.
I'm very much impressed. Yeah, that was my second question. Is being a member, is it someone that you must personally know, have experience with, or is it someone that we can just try our luck that it's the first time and just hope for the best?
Oh no, you're in good hands. Don't worry. Yeah, you can be anywhere you want. It doesn't matter where you live. And we have members all over the world. And yeah, we'll plan a call and figure out kind of what you want to do and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, help you figure it out for sure.
Cool. Thank you.
No problem, Catherine. Anybody else have any questions? No questions? Well, I posted the link in there.
Sorry, Charlotte, it's Kirsten.
Oh, hi, Kirsten.
Hi, I have one quick question. As in 100 most powerful women, am I included in this? Do I get a discount? Is it completely separate?
Good question, Kirsten. 100 Most Powerful Women is completely separate. It's a separate company that I run with Jackie, which is a coaching business. So 100 Most Powerful Women is, we work with 100 women each year to build million and multi-million dollar companies. So a lot of the coaching and mentorship, like I can teach you and show you how to do all that kind of stuff. But yes, in terms of, and you can totally post things on that One Woman Connected page. I think I've sent that to everyone and all that kind of stuff. But anything in terms of then the instructing side of things, if I'm putting things together, it's a lot of extra work for me or the staff that I need to hire to be able to do that. So those memberships are separate. And it's hard for me sometimes to wear both those hats, you know, because One Woman is, what I've done for a very long time. 100 Most Powerful Women is kind of a new thing that Jackie and I had added last year to really be able to coach and mentor women over the course of the year to build million and multi-million dollar companies. And so we work with those ladies, but I can teach you all the things in those through that program, through your sessions, through whatever, to be able to build and grow your business the way I did that with one woman. So I just want to mention that as well, Kirsten.
Charlotte, I do
Okay,
have a
so-
question. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Kirsten.
No, I was just going to say that with that in mind, because this platform here allows me to be on the one woman platform and be speaking in that, it's definitely something I'm kind of interested in. So maybe what I'll do is, so I don't take up time here, is I'll just talk to you in our next coaching session.
100%, absolutely. I'm always here for you. Reach out anytime. And what else was I going to say? Why I have to keep these separate is because 100 Most Powerful Women is a for-profit business that I run with Jackie. 100 Most Powerful Women is a social enterprise where everything that I make, with the exception of paying for my team and all that kind of stuff, I'm able to donate and give back. It's my philanthropy. I was blessed to be able to retire when I was 37. And leave my government job and be a serial entrepreneur and live my passion every day. And so one woman is my philanthropy efforts and my way to be able to help and empower women, not just financially, but with knowledge and, you know, the tools and the skills and all that kind of stuff. So that's another big part of it as well, is that they're just totally separate companies. So I have to always keep those separate. Any other final questions?
Yeah, it's Nadine.
Hi, Nadine.
Hi. Thank you for having this webinar. As I'm going to be out of the country a couple of times over the next 6 months as I concentrate on my health, I'm just wondering if you're looking down the road as when you're going to open it up again after you have this 10 membership filled.
Oh yeah, I'll probably do it again next month. It's the fact that I gotta do it in chunks, and then I'm in Greece for like 2 to 3 weeks in May, June. And so then I probably won't want to add too much to my plate with the time zone change and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I would do it. I'll probably do it again in March, and, you know, I'll stagger things throughout the year that I'll work with 10 ladies at a time. Once they're set, like once I've had a conversation with them and they know how everything works, then they can just send things and submit things and do things and all that kind of stuff. But it's more of onboarding people and, you know, how many ladies that I can work with comfortably. But I do most things from home now, and I'm trying to have less of a travel schedule in terms of events. I'd like to do one each year rather than 70 events in a year. That's kind of the goal.
Great. Thank you so much.
No problem, Nadine. Any other questions, ladies? No, you're good. Well, you know where to find me. Charlotte@onewoman.ca. Feel free to drop me an email anytime. And yeah, we'll do this again soon. And, you know, don't ever feel pressured like, oh, I got to get a membership today and all that kind of stuff. Like, that membership is on the website. And when it's filled, when I'm not taking members, I will, you know, cap it, and then I'll open it up again and all that kind of stuff. But if you're on our e-newsletter list, if you join the One Woman Connected page, which if you're not on there right now, I'll post the link to it. Facebook, One Woman Connected. It's free to be on here, and it's the fastest way to usually stay in the loop of what's happening and going on with one woman. And so you can always join. Oops, I just sent that to Eva. Sorry, Eva. Now it's posted to everyone. Yeah, so then you can kind of stay in the loop with what's going on and all that kind of stuff. We have our regular membership as well that just want to support what we do, but a lot of women have a business or are wanting to start a business. And so that's what this membership was created for, is to really help women build and grow their business and to be able to tap into that. So I'm going to introduce our speaker for today. And as I said, you know, at these sessions, we want to be able to highlight some of our empowered members to be able to speak, to learn more about them, and to learn more about the great work that they're doing and how what they're doing could possibly help us as well, which, as I said, there it teaches women how to heal the world and to make big money while they do that, that they don't have to compromise and do one or the other. So I'd like to introduce the amazing Lyra Kay. She's an international best-selling author, speaker, and founder of the 111 Healers Conference and the School of Inspired Life, a training center helping outstanding experts become world-class and in high demand. Lyra has been assisting people to transform their lives over 30 years. Her students have been successfully growing their business, launching their own academies, schools, and certifications, elevating brands, charging 10 to 20 times as much as they charged before, and serving more clients, having freedom of time and money. After traveling the world with her 5 daughters and her husband, Lyra is currently living and working in beautiful Hawaii. Please welcome the amazing Lyra Kay.
Thank you so much, guys. So let me first of all share my screen. I actually created a presentation for today. Host disabled screen sharing. Charlotte, is it possible for me to
It should
share?
work now. It should work
Okay.
now.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. Perfect. So guys, I'm super excited. First of all, I want to highly recommend Charlotte's work, her memberships, whichever ones you can get your hands on, quickly go. I literally send all of my clients to Charlotte to speak on her stages, join anything possibly she's creating, because it's just from the business point of view, it's amazing. So I'm just gonna say that, put it out there, and I hope you really really take the advantage of her invitation because it's really is great. It's created for me quite a bit of sort of momentum, exposure, and etc. I'm very happy to be part of her project. Now today what we're going to talk about is how you specifically can sell high-end, uber high-end offers. So actually with Charlotte, I don't know, a few years back, we did this workshop, how to, create, market, and sell 5-figure offers. I think at the time, that was kind of what I was doing for my clients all the time. And I just created that workshop. It's very popular right now. It's actually available on my website somewhere. You can find it, you could just buy it. Or you can buy it through One Woman as well, I believe, right? But this time, I started creating those outrageous results, like my clients started making 6-figure sales regularly. Just because my clients keep working with me for years and they kind of stick, and we kind of run out of what else we're going to do. And then we go into, okay, bigger goals. The past 2 sessions with one of my clients we did was about, strategizing 250K sales. So kind of this is what I'm talking about. And when I'm going to show you like sort of 3 case studies, super fast, I'm going to go fast today to leave you time to ask me questions. You will see that the women I'm talking about starting from scratch. This is not something like they are some kind of extraordinary women. I think everybody's extraordinary, but it is about something specific they needed to do. They needed to do healing work on themselves, and of course expand and really develop these skills. So today when I'm going to talk about you and how you can create those amazing kind of, oops, somebody needs to mute themselves. Sorry guys, please mute yourself. So okay, I want you to understand that you can do that too. Okay, so all of us can do this. By the way, in the chat, I can't see chat right now, but I would love to check with you later. Write what is your expertise. So all of you have some kind of expertise. It doesn't have to be professional. It could be intuitive gifts. It could be you're just super streetwise, right? Maybe you are an amazing mom. Like whatever your skills are, whatever your expertise is, I want you to type it in so you can kind of see where you can go with your work. Now today, I'm going to talk about those 2 specific things: how to develop powerful mentalist, psychic-like skills for achieving success beyond your personal limitations, and the 3-step strategy to create your personal business breakthrough to position yourself for 6-figure sales. So I recommend to take screenshots because all of those sort of sentences are really loaded with substance. This is exactly actually what I do. Because when I'm thinking, what is it that I'm really doing for my clients? How is it that I can take somebody who is selling, $100 personal training gym sessions to selling 100K programs, right? Transformational programs that take just hours to deliver. How is it happening? Well, it's happening because I've really speed up the process of creating results for clients. And the results that we're creating are outstanding. This is not something that's not a normal coaching where you come in and I'm going to ask you to look inside yourself for the answer. No, this is something where you can diagnose things very precisely and use your skill to create those results for people. And it needs to be fast. People not paying you for your time when you are working at that level. And of course, the three-step strategy is going to be not just about business strategies. I'm not talking about funnels. I'm not talking about ads, investments. I'm talking about what needs to happen for you inside of you, really, most of all, to be able to implement any strategy you want. For example, the strategies I personally teach to my clients are actually super simple. Like everybody knows them. Take any book, watch any video on business, and you will know what to do and how to, you know, close sales or what's not. But it is about your presence, right? And your presence is the one that actually sells. And what is it that you really project when you're out there? So this is what the strategy involves. So now let's look, this is like super short about me. So 33 years, I don't know if you guys can see behind all of the people, I'm just putting it this way. So 33 years in the field, working with thousands of people around the world, founder of schoolofinspiredlife.com, 111healsconference.com. I have 5 daughters. I run advanced coaches, coaching skill certifications. I do VIP brand up level retreats. I work with celebrities as the healer and spiritual counselor, and I do speaking. So super, super short. I've done art all my life. I've been an exhibiting artist, filmmaker, super, super creative, very innovative in terms of therapy. I'm a trained psychotherapist in my past and kind of left the field as soon as I could because I'm really a futurist and I'm not so much interested in dwelling on the past, but really progressing you, big time. And, because of that, really my methods of therapy are working so fast, just because I'm interested in expansion, what happens after the healing. So the free resources that you can get, I recommend to go to schoolofinspiredlife.com and just go indulge in a blog there and just find everything. There's lots of secret trainings that used to be in my big programs, and then I just became generous and just put them out there. And you can see how to market 5-6 figure, programs online, and how to do all sorts of. You will see me teaching, 7-8 figure entrepreneurs how they are breaking through their own limitations. You can see me, heal high level leaders of transformational industry on healing the mommy daddy issues. So all of that is there. I don't talk about it much, but you guys, once you get in there, just go into the blog and just indulge. And also there will be some case studies, like tons and tons of videos of my clients talking about the process of really breaking through, and to me in great detail explaining specifically on how I actually made it happen for them. Because obviously I am like obsessed with the process of how it's all done. I help my clients to create the absolutely 100% proven processes to guarantee results. Therefore, I love talking about how everything is done. So right now, if you have, courage, please put in the chat the answers to those 3 questions. So those are deep questions. You can also take a screenshot and then just meditate on that later. Why are you not there yet? What scares you about your destination? So when we're all putting out those big goals out there, like I want to make 100K sale tomorrow or something like that, or I want to make $1 million in a week or in a year, or what's not, whatever, doesn't matter. It's not just about money. It's not just about the fame. It's about the impact you want to make. It's about I call it the spiritual print, the footprint, energetic footprint, the legacy you're leaving behind. But what scares you about that? What scares you about your mission? I work with fears a lot, right? You will see. Part of my methodology is to work with fear of success. So when I personally, connected with my own why, like, why do I do this? And what really freaks me out, I actually cried in front of my coach and, you know, my tribe. And I was just like, yeah, you know, I want to change the whole mental health system. I am enraged because of my own personal story, because my first husband committed suicide. Now, of course, you know, so many years back, he was misdiagnosed, misprescribed medication, and then he died. He killed himself, you know, leaving me a widow with 3 kids. And it was devastating. And that's why I'm so passionate about changing the system. And what freaks me out, because who's going to listen to me? Who am I to do this big work? Who am I to do this big work? People going to cancel me. They're going to question me. I'm going to get attacked. All of that is there. And you probably have your own fears as well, right? So it's normal. And but instead of just kind of putting them on the back burner and trying to use your willpower to break through that, I will show you that there are better ways to deal with your fears. It's really about working with that. So the next question, the big one, what did you believe in and acted like to create success you already have? So obviously you had implemented a certain strategy and you had certain values to be here. So one of my clients will be going to talk about, she once said when she actually came into my VIP program, the highest level of my program, is humongous investment on her part. And she already had done certification at that time, and she's done whatever other programs. And I remember she said, Lyra, and it was like a 3-minute sales call. And she said, and we were basically celebrating her stepping up. And she was waiting for that invitation. When will Lyra allow me to come in? And when she paid in full, she said, you know, people invest in what they value. And I was like, oh, true, it's true. And instead of kind of imagining and saying, you know, I have this religion, or I have this value system, like I really, or this is something I studied, or this is something I'm interested in. Instead, I invite you to be radically honest with yourself and just understand that you live what you believe, what you believe. If you believe in this, this is exactly what reality shows you. You're investing your time, you're investing your money, you're investing your attention to what you believe in. And that is important to understand. And on my website, you will see lyrak.com. That's my website for my VIP celebrity work. You will see that, you know, what I'm saying is that, you know, tell me, what is it that you don't want to happen? What disasters are you trying to avoid? And I will show you who not to worship and what not to do. This is it. This is exactly how you're not gonna end up in one place, and you're gonna end up in another place. And therefore, you will see that what I'm talking about when I'm talking about, you know, my VIP work, I redefine religion. I really show you that there are ways that you start believing, you start having faith in something else in order to create those big results that you want. It needs to shift. I call them shifting your meta model. So you can find out more about it in my various workshops and websites. And of course, what is the most audacious goal you have? So if it's not the money or fame, then what? What's your energetic footprint? What's your spiritual legacy? What is it that you really actually want to do? Because it's very likely that if you're working with me, this is what we're going to work on. And financial results and all of that stuff, I think it's just a side effect because I mean, lots of things happen on my programs. So I'm going to move this here again. All right. So now let's talk about those amazing skills that I mentioned, mentalist, psychic-like skills. This is what people often think that I am. But I want to demystify that and actually say, you know what, it's actually about knowing the basics of psychoanalysis and being learning to be courageously present with people, which comes from healing your intimacy issues. Most people cannot be present with other people because it's too scary, right? The reality of relationship could be messy. and conflicting, and therefore we're avoiding to see things as they are. But psychics out there, they can actually, they not only see it, they can also articulate that. And you yourself, if you want to be, for example, a great coach or a teacher, it would be really great for you to have those skills, because that's what makes you so powerful. So my clients obviously are learning this on my certification here. So right now, certification is, you can have one online, or you can do a 6-week VIP program. Right now, people are doing it. Amazing, amazing results, obviously. And investigate on schoolofinspiredlife.com, and you can see all the case studies and testimonials, and just soak it in, because you can be there too. It's about really developing your skills. I'd love to tell you that you can just manifest all that stuff, but in reality, people pay you for results. Okay, this is why the big fees like we're talking about are possible. Not just because of you're a nice person, but just because you can create for your client the most amazing breakthroughs. That's what they're paying for. And when you're working with a high level clientele, they are interested in speedy results. So, okay, so we know that. I guess you can imagine. So now we're looking at the actual 3-step to the 6-figure sales positioning. So if you want to have 6-figure sales, and before that, I hope you wrote down your expertise, and you can write again if you want, if you hadn't. So you're going to be building on top of your expertise. There's something that happened, I myself experienced after, I would say, reaching my top. All of my clients are succeeding. I myself had a 7-figure year, and I was kind of felt like I'm done. That was kind of in the midst of pandemic as well, and all this isolation. So I was kind of sitting there with myself and feeling sort of like, oh my gosh, like, do I even want to continue doing my work? And I have so many obligations already, and groups and masterminds, and of course 111 Heals conference, the project that I'm leading with amazing, powerful leaders who are joining me on this health, mental health, system revolution. And I was like, I need to find my second breath. I need to find my second breath. And this is when I started looking into, how do we create that? How do we create that? And we're looking into, I started personally looking into my North Node. I call it North Node activation. I do that on my VIP retreats for my clients, when we're really looking into not just the work that you want to do, not just the work that you desire to do, that you have this kind of like maybe vision of yourself doing, or your financial goals. We are talking about what is your spiritual purpose. And I love tapping into it, because actually it is there. And there are systems in which way you can actually predict all of that stuff. So I love looking into that when it comes to finding your second breath, when it's finding a new kind of way of working, new business models that you want to operate in, etc. So now let's look at this 3-step positioning. So the first thing that you need to do, I want you to take a screenshot. I don't know whether you can see it. I'm going to move the presentation a little bit here, maybe because on my part I can see people on this, on the right side. So take a screenshot. I'm going to move it back and let's discuss. So first thing is the healing. Heal so you can serve. You saw me maybe on stages somewhere. I always talk about that. Heal so you can serve. It is about that first part that you will see in the case studies that basically my clients had to heal trauma. That's it. Like, that is one of those things. And there are many different ways to do it. My work is very, very precise, because I work with super ambitious people who are typically already very successful. So we're looking at fear of success. We're looking at the 2 millimeter tweak that need to happen in order for them to actually break that ceiling that they have. It's invisible ceiling, but they do have a ceiling. They reach the plateau, just like myself. So what do? So I know what I did. I use my system really to break through any kind of limitations I would ever have. And it's a very interesting work. I love healing work. So I do it my way. It's very creative, very innovative. And this is the first step. And if you don't believe me, if you think I just need more leads, a lot of people tell me, I just need more leads, I need more clients. I say, well, maybe you just need to look into you know, what's going on there inside. Why is it that you ask yourself, like, why is it that you're not there yet, right? Why is it that you want to fail, right? Those are interesting questions. There's no shame in like kind of looking into it, but it does create an amazing breakthrough when you understand where your kind of attitudes really originate from, and then healing that. So the next step is to upgrade your meta model, and it can be changed. I think when people are thinking that, you know, I have this mindset, I have this upbringing, now I discovered my, you know, maybe through the session with me, the fast track psychoanalysis, you know, 15-minute session, you realized, oh my gosh, all of my ancestry, you know, coming from this kind of way and this pattern, those addictions, and then I am kind of stuck with that. And so I did some healing work. So now what? Now what? Well, now you have to create a new one. You have to create a new meta model. What is your compassionate God? Who is your muse mother? Right? This is the unwounded muse mother. If you're a woman, if you're a man, you would have to look into your unwounded hero, right? How do they behave? Different way than a typical archetypal hero journey, right? So we are actually creating it according to what your goals are. So I'm very good at that work. I love that work. And so the third step, I have to move my presentation so I could see it. It's gaining momentum. It's expanding your vision, and of course, learn the ropes to create super fast, phenomenal results. Now, why am I talking about fast results? It's because that if you're dwelling and sort of sitting there learning and analyzing and endlessly, you know, perfecting something, you will actually lose the momentum. What you need is results. This is what I'm seeing from, you know, working with thousands of people around the world. It is what it is. We need to gain trust in ourselves. And it happens when we see something reflecting, something manifesting in this physical reality of whatever shifts and changes we are creating inside. So therefore, yes, because if I'm a business coach for you, then yes, I'm insisting on super fast results, and some clients make those huge sales after just a sales call with me, just because that's what I know they need to do in order for them to now indulge for the whole year in this other program, you know, creating a revolution, creating the global movement. But before that, can we just create some money, right? Because it's just a manifestation of your inner work, of the shift that you've just worked for, made effort to create, right? So gaining momentum is important. And, you know, after one momentum, there's another momentum, and then you just go bigger, and that's it. That's how we go. So those are the 3 steps for 6-figure sales positioning, right? So when we're talking about momentum, so you can start with selling $1,000 session. You can, you know, sell 10K program. You know, you can, well, whatever you need. So some case studies you will see what people did, and you will see why those numbers are there, because it was necessary for them to then relax into realizing their purpose. So today, guys, I want to really do something outstanding because I typically don't really talk with, like, let's say, real people unless they went through the whole qualifying sort of, you know, process and admissions call. But just for this group, you can email me directly, and we can, if either you can set a talk with me, we can chat about your huge audacious goals and where I can take you, or I can even direct you to specific resources that I already have, because I'm super prolific, super creative, sort of you know, leader. So I have tons of things I can show you, and you can just have it. So just email me, guys. So take screenshot or whatever, write it down, and Don't feel shy. Guys, if you feel shy about your future and about what is it that you want to do, and you're scared to reach out to somebody who can help you, it just tells me you need to change your behavior, right? You need to stop that addiction to, you know, I'm here alone. I'm you know, it's so hard. But instead, just take the opportunity, right? See where it leads you, right? I'm only working with super qualified people in terms of who can be my client. So don't be scared. I'm not trying to sell anything to people who cannot either afford me or specifically not ready for the big leap that I'm typically here to create. It's just about connecting and, you know, being normal humans and supporting each other. So right now we're gonna go into case studies as fast as possible. And so you need to be taking notes, because what you're going to be doing, you're going to be expanding how you think about yourself, because the six-figure positioning, like I said, it comes from inside. It's not just about, you know, how to write a proposal or how to write contracts. By the way, all of that information is probably somewhere on my website for free on schoolinspiredlife.com. So that's not it. It's about how you show up, that people are in fact seeking you out, and it doesn't matter how much you cost. They want to work with you because of who you are, right? Especially who you are energetically. Can I just mention that it's not about some, like, you know, titles you have or whatever, PhDs you have. Many have worked with a lot of PhDs, but it's not that. They didn't have any of that positioning before they came, right? It's about something from the inside. And this is why for this presentation, I picked, you know, us sitting there on a brand up level retreat and working on brands and expansion for my clients, and also my workshop on charisma, which is about, you know, if you are like an introvert like myself, so how do you then project charisma? How do you then become magnetic to your specific clientele, right? So all of that is on my programs typically. So now let's look at my awesome, beautiful clients. So we're going to talk about Faith, who is a founder of I Own Me movement. We will talk about Maria from The Factor Of. We're going to talk about Sophia, who is a founder of Influencers Academy. So I'm trying to see my presentation here, but because it's covered with people. Okay, what do we have here? So what did Faith do? She is right in the middle of building her seven-figure empire. She did a major book deal and wrote actually 2 books, and became, of course, an international best-selling author, had been featured in every possible major network, was just recently done interview with Dr. Oz, and just going places. She is a real revolutionary. Of course, she's been doing the TED Talks and whatever kind of PR is possible out there, because she is creating a global movement. So I, you know, obviously look into any of my clients' work. It's amazing. And when we're going to talk about her, so I will tell you what specifically she had to heal to be there. We're going to talk about Maria, who is just in 30 days created $71,000 sales. Then she went on to create 120K sales in 3 months. And that's from scratch, right? We're talking about somebody who's never been a coach before, right? And then ended up the whole thing on the top of that 100K sale as well. So we're going to talk about her story. And of course, Sophia, who went from selling $100 sessions. She is in Europe, so she was selling, I don't know, 150 euro sessions as a personal trainer, volunteering. And of course, now selling at 100K point, and we've been plotting 250K sales lately. So, all right. So here are the testimonials, and just a glimpse. Why did I share those out of another whatever dozen that they wrote to me regularly? It's because they're talking about healing. I want you to understand that what they had to actually do to be and to have all of those results super fast is by going and healing the trauma. And when we're talking about trauma, This is, we're not talking about some horrible abuse or horrible neglect or some kind of stuff like that. It's not always that. Often it is that in the, you know, in the way that I work, like I said, you know, for 33 years. Yes, I feel like we live in a very dark universe, right? There's a lot of pain because I work with that pain a lot. So I'm not kind of blind to what's going on. But sometimes it's just about your upbringing. It's just about the amount of fear your mom had about stepping up for to live her dream, her ambition. What did she have to put down? It's about the guilt issues your dad have or had, right? How did he sabotage himself? Guess what? All of that affects you when it comes to your big, audacious goals. So I want you to just grasp that, and if anything, take that away, that, you know, look into yourself, look into the reasons why you're not there yet, and just start healing, because it's just a process. So Faith, so she is an author of a best-selling book called Sex Cult None, where she, you know, in 2 books actually that she's written, she endorsed my method of healing, and she's sharing it with people step by step because of what it's done for her. So she had done healing after escaping a famous cult, Children of God. So obviously being sexually abused from childhood, it was hard life that she went through. And when I met her, she was actually a successful attorney. But all of that stuff was hidden. But she had this amazing message. And I remember she drove like, whatever, 5-6 hours from LA to California. I was living in California at the time, in San Francisco, to meet me, and we just had this ginger beer in my local cafe. I was surprised she showed up, and she's done a test, very specific diagnostic test that I offered to on some conference. And the results, she said, Lera, that is just like you just described me, exactly how I am. And this is why I'm talking about those mentalist, psychic-like skills. This is just the tools, diagnostic tools that I created that really work powerfully. And so she drove all this way to tell me about her big idea, I Own Me. So highly recommend her work. It is about really using a sort of very analytical approach to deal with this whole Me Too situation. And she was like, Lera, I have the idea, I just don't know what to do with this. I know it's big. I know it's big. I know it needs to be global. It needs to reach millions of women. I want to help. But obviously, she was not public. She was just sort of by herself doing her work. And we started working. So we first started working with healing. And then, of course, it's escalated into this beautiful exposure. So when she went on TEDx and did her speech, it wasn't just that she would be famous, and of course she's famous, but she became famous. But it wasn't about that. Actually, going on TEDx was part of my healing strategy for her, because she needed to experience of, you know, speaking up about certain topics, right? Controversial topics. So everything I do kind of in business, it's not just about business. Business is a side effect. Money is a side effect of what is the biggest strategy for you as a soul here? What is it that you really need to learn? What is it that you really need to expand on? That's what we're looking at. And I think in her testimonials, that's what she says, Lera, you really look into me. It's not just some generic cookie cutter business strategy. It's really you're doing for what is good for me. And if business is good for me, then you prescribe me to do business or to do sales. And if not, we're doing other things, right? This is kind of the kind of coach I am. So Maria, so she, of course, also written book, a lot of things, obviously. When I work with my clients, they working on big, major deals and ideas and projects. So often I work under strict confidentiality agreements. But because all of those, you know, projects are now public, that's why I can talk about it. And of course, they mention me and endorse me as they coach as well. So that's why I can talk about those in these case studies. So Maria also she had to overcome also abuse from in childhood. And of course, it made her to be, I would say, always kind of taking a second role in her positioning in the world. And now suddenly I told her, well, if you want to become a coach, or specifically a leader, an influencer, then you need to become a brand. It's going to be about you. And it could be freaking you out, right? Because you, of course, think that who am I, right? I told you about even my own struggles. Of course, we all have them. So that was the healing we did with her. And it's just, her work just escalated, right? So a completely newbie coach going from some kind of a sort of corporate business she had before, HR business, into becoming a transformational coach and spiritual coach and creating all of those financial results I already mentioned. So now Dr. Sophia, amazing, amazing clients. She had, I mean, most of my clients work with me for years, so that's been years. And I just created this kind of table for you just to take screenshot, like this is the progress we did starting from here and going right and kind of this way, right? So this is kind of what we've been doing and what she had achieved. So absolutely amazing. And she had to work through, actually mainly, no, it wasn't anything, some kind of like those horrific traumas we've mentioned before, but it was, you know, very certain attitudes that she had to really fight against in her life in academia. She has a huge academic background, PhD, postdoctorate, 2 masters, I don't know, about 10 different certifications in coaching, high performance. So, but yet that's where she was at when we met, right? With all of that, with being so overqualified, just selling at $100 per hour rate. And of course, now doing those 100K sales and plotting 250K sales. So, all right, now at the end, I would love to ask you again, those 3 questions. What specific wound do you need to release? You probably know what it is. You probably know what is it that really, really drags you down right now. The next question, what do you need to believe in and act like? What values do you need to have and what kind of patterns do you need to install, behavioral patterns you need to install in order for you to reach your amazing dream? It's going to be different from what it is now. I can guarantee you that, because what you want is a leap, is not step by step. I mean, I understand that it sounds like it's a good idea to go step by step and nicely and slowly and safely. But, you know, most of us are adults here and probably in the kind of midlife, right? That means you don't really have that much time. You need to be doing your work and you need to be doing it on a global level. So you need to think differently. You need to think differently and you need to act differently. I think we can all agree to that. Tell me if you understand that that's necessary. And are you ready to be successful beyond your wildest limitations? Are you ready to break down your own ceiling? Are you ready to outgrow your powerful parents? Are you ready to do that? Are you ready to do that again? Right? In my application forms, I typically ask, how well are you done comparing to your parents? Have you outgrown your parents yet, right? And typically self-made women or men would say, yes, I had outgrown my parents in certain ways, maybe in financial sort of status. But what about your thinking or feeling patterns? What about your ancestral lineage that is still showing up? Those fears, those limitations, those stereotypes that we're still dragging with us from the past. Like I said, I'm a futurist, so I'll be brutal with that. We're gonna just have to, we're gonna have to think differently. We're gonna have to expand and think about, well, how do I need to start thinking, right? And it's time to actually actively install that new program, if you want, into your brain so you can start achieving that. So get in touch with me. Obviously, you know, I'm giving you my personal email here. This is awesome. Take advantage. Don't be shy, please. I'm like super down to earth, and you know, it's about talking about what is it that you want. I'm very curious. Lots of people, before they become anywhere near becoming my client, really follow my work for years. And it's about, you know, I love being inspired by my audience and just really looking into what is it that you want to do. If you are already at the stage where you teach your own methodology and you are super interested in changing the mental health system and are really passionate about it and want to talk about innovative therapy or innovative healing methods, then obviously join my 111 Healers conference, because it is an amazing platform for healers to really talk about methodologies, talk about what can we do personally to change and heal the world. I'm a big believer in that. Like, you already heard my personal story, and I know you have your own. So if you want to come and share that on our platform, I would be very happy also to connect with you. Just send me an email and we can discuss that. So if you have any questions on any of those topics, which is skills, right? Skills, special skills you need to have, and your 3-step 6-figure sales positioning process, then obviously ask me right now. I'm open here, guys.
That was fantastic, Lyra. Awesome, awesome. Does anybody have any questions for Lyra at all? No questions? It's a lot of information for sure. And
I know I was going super fast to try to, but basically connect, guys. Yes.
Yes,
So
and Lyra's just filled with so much wisdom. And if you join her social media platform, she does lots of lives, she does lots of sessions and all that kind of stuff, so that you can stay connected for sure. And that's what I want to do, is to be able to highlight an empowered member or two during our sessions, so then we really get to know what each other does more, whether we're finding our person to help us get to our next level, or whether we're able to learn about what each other does to be able to connect other people that we know. Like I said, I made a connection today where Michelle, I know she just emailed you back. She's not happy that you're a Seahawks fan, but that's okay. But just to be able to refer people that you know, so because sometimes we can't necessarily help the person, but we know somebody who can, and so that's what we can do. You know, there's women on here with so many different amazing skill sets, like Kirsten. You know, she works on user experience and websites and branding, and is also a brilliant graphic designer and all that kind of stuff. So we all have different skill sets, we all do different things, and even if we do similar things, we definitely do them differently. So it's always great to be able to know what other people do, so that we can be a great networking organization. We can connect people that we meet along our path to get the help that they need, and it always comes back to us tenfold. That's what I know for sure. So any questions at all, ladies? Anything for Lyra? Anything about One Woman? I know a lot of women signed up, and I've been trying to already get back to you with things because I got to drive to Calgary. But if you signed up for your empowered membership and you don't hear from me today, don't worry. I'll get back to you tomorrow and I'll send you everything. And I'm going to schedule calls with all my new members over the next week or two to be able to help you with those next steps as to what you want to do, whether that's One Woman Empowered Academy, putting together your first workshop, webinar, all that kind of stuff. No problem at all. I will, you're going to hear from me by tomorrow with all those details and next steps. Just because, like I said, I have an appointment in Calgary that I got to get to before the end of today. So I want to thank everybody for joining us for One Woman Connected. I hope you learned a little bit more about One Woman and what we do, the opportunities that exist. Join our One Woman Connected page. It's totally free to do that. You can stay in the loop. Don't feel like you need to become a member today. It's okay. You can join anytime you want, so that's fine. If you have a regular membership, I had a lot of women who emailed me that have inspired memberships right now. It's okay. You can upgrade that at any time. Just email me and I can do that for you. So I want to wish everybody a fantastic day and a wonderful weekend ahead. And it was so great to see everyone, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye, everyone.